All right, we're here to talk about everybody's favorite underdog, Mumen Rider.
That's right. We're here to get to the bottom of why it was that he became a hero in the first place.
We want to know, what is his sense of justice and what does justice really mean to him?
Yeah, and why the hell did he fight Deep Sea King?
Why would anybody fight the Deep Sea King unless they're an S-class hero?
Unless your name is Saitama, hell.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
We're also going to talk about what the future might hold for our man, Mumen Rider.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's get into it.
Let's jump into it with the earliest we see Mumen Rider. It's in the extra chapter from volume 1.
Yeah.
We see him ride up on a bike on a couple of bullies at school.
Yeah, and he says he's not a fan of that shit, and so he's gonna take these bullies down. He's gonna defend his fellow man, and keep right back at it.
That's right. He is not having that.
That's not what happens.
Boy ends up getting his ass kicked.
Yeah,
as usual.
As usual.
And it seems like this is how his life goes from then on.
Yeah,
this is how his life is still going.
What he does is that he keeps trying.
That's the thing. That's why we love him.
Yes.
The guy gets back up.
But honestly, for me, I can't see him doing anything else. But if I were, what do you think some of those things could be?
It's like something else Mumen Rider could be doing. Maybe the only thing I could think of is like a police officer.
Okay.
But then he'd have to hold a gun. I don't know that the guy's cool with guns because why wouldn't he use one if he was okay with them? And then he can't drive. I don't know if that's a problem. He's licenseless. So
he'd be one of those police officers on the beach cruisers strolling along with the helmets and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. That's embarrassing.
Can you imagine getting pulled over with my man ringing his bicycle bell and shit? That'd be horrible.
Yeah. I also think he wants to stick to his own schedule, and he doesn't want to be held back from facing any threats.
Nope.
So let's talk about Mumen Rider's sense of justice. And so in the fight with Garo, he does some weird stuff where he stops Tank Top Master from beating him down, even though he knows that Garo is the hero hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like he's unwilling to allow harm to come to humans, really, or even imprison them. What do you think of this?
And if that's the case, then great for him. Let there be a hero who can, see maybe potential light in even someone as, you could say vindictive or evil as Garo.
That's impressive that he could see something in people like that.
Yeah.
But even after all these heroes that Garo's taken down, I still think it's strange that he just lets him walk away.
Mm-hmm.
So what about with monsters, though? Killing monsters. The Hero Association has an official stance of eradication of all monsters without question.
I hear.
Right. So do you think Mumen Rider is out there killing monsters?
If he came across a monster he could kill, honestly, without them showing it, I can't say that I lean more towards one way or the other on that one. But if he let someone like Garo go, I don't think he would kill a monster, even with the eradication policy.
See, I think if people are in danger, I think he wouldn't even hesitate.
Yeah, because he's more defensive. Look back at Deep Sea King. He wasn't trying to kill him, not from what I was seeing. I saw it as trying to maybe one stand up and protect the others that were there. Maybe almost be a hold off until Saitama shows up. I don't know what he was thinking, but killing Deep Sea King wasn't a part of his plan.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about his fight with Deep Sea King, because I think those scenes show a lot about Mumen Rider's character, especially the scenes beforehand. I think these are anime only, but you got these two scenes that I want to talk about. There's one where he passes a lot of heroes that are evacuating the city, and they tell him to turn around. Right? They tell him turn around. C-class heroes aren't strong enough. But he doesn't even stop to talk to them, I don't think. I think he just keeps riding. I just think that shows how determined he is to get there. He doesn't care who's evacuating. He's going, no matter what. Then later on, also another anime-only scene is when he stops at He gets into the entirely evacuated city, and then he just stops at a red light and says, "Dang it, not now." Something like that. So funny. Even when there's nobody around, he knows the whole city's evacuated. There's a crisis. He still stops at a red light.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
Even riding a bike.
Admittedly, I do run red lights when no one's around, so
oh god,
I guess I'm not the ideal citizen. So
you never know if somebody's gonna be around.
That's you can see if people are watching, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not Mumen. I'm Tyrell.
It's also great when he shows up and you've got Genos laying there, half dead, just disintegrated,
disembodied, yeah.
And he's telling him, "No, don't attack." And next thing we hear is Justice Crash.
Justice Crash. So good. That's just like good writing, and that's what I love the most. Like, I get it, his character, even though he is, you could say, defenseless or even offensiveless, he still tried.
So Mumen, when he's fighting Deep Sea King, he mentions how he's not good enough for Class B. Do you think that's true?
If Class B requires being able to take on larger threats, then I'm going to say no. I ain't going to give it to him.
Well,
Justice Crash ain't going to cut it.
I think he's got the determination, but I think you're right. He is lacking in the power, the skills, and I do think he might not be good enough for Class B.
I hate to cross-reference with animes, but, look at Deku. He wasn't able to be a hero until he got a quirk, So...
All Might said no.
Even though he had all the right, internals going on, just as Mumen Rider does, body moved on its own, and, the willingness to help, he couldn't do much without power.
That's right. That's a good analogy. And then All Might saw his determination to decide that you would be a good hero if you had power.
If you had the power. Mumen Rider is Midoriya. Oh my gosh. I just cracked the code.
Sort of like if only Saitama and Mumen Rider could switch powers.
Yeah.
Then he'd be the greatest hero ever.
Do you think that he still have the joy if it was only one punch, though?
I don't know that he gets joy out of
helping
the beating the monsters. It's more out of just the helping people. So I think he would still be happy. Unlike Saitama, who was looking for the joy of fighting and the joy of a good brawl.
A good challenge, yeah.
Mumen Rider's looking more of to see the smiles on the people, to see them safe.
Yeah.
All right. So finally, let's get into what we see for the future of Mumen Rider.
Okay. And by future, you mean not starting a local bike club?
What makes you think he hasn't already?
You're right. I don't know. Maybe when he's not undercover or, in his get-up, being a vigilante and whatnot, he rides with the locals.
So I meant more in terms of his power. Do you see his power increasing? Maybe his rank.
He could bulk up. He could bulk up some. He could be like Lance Armstrong, out there.
What is that supposed to mean?
Like Lance Armstrong?
I think he's already better than Lance Armstrong.
Really?
Oh,
Lance
yeah.
Armstrong is a
But he goes into stand-up pedaling mode, and there's no stopping that. That's just too fast. What about his rank? You see him ever ranking up?
I do, but I don't see him getting far in Class B, and definitely not Class S.
Like, oh God! I hope he doesn't get into Class S.
That would be so bad.
What other things could we see for the future of Mumen? Could we see any costume changes? Could we see him
a new bike?
New bike?
A new bike?
Some sort of bike with attachments?
A motorized bike
that can. Oh, but he has no license.
He will get a license.
But that's his whole thing. He's the licenseless.
so
thing.
funny. That's so funny. Damn. That guy.
Yeah, maybe he could get some sort of attachments for his bike, some sort of weapons attached, or he could get his own sort of weapon.
Like on the bike, like lasers, like choo choo.
I was thinking more like something he hits people with, like a bat
Like a Justice
or
Crash.
one of those fighting sticks.
Ooh, what if he added explosives to his bike?
That would be cool.
So if he did a Justice Crash,
There goes his bike, though.
Yeah, his bike may be gone, but he, you know, just like Batman,
Probably
he's
did a
got,
little more damage, though.
he's got a few Batmobiles in the cave.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I would love that. That way, it'll be just as bang.
Justice Explosion. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
Mhm.
What else?
How advanced of the technology do you think they are?
Oh, they have some really advanced technology because of Child Emperor and Metal Knight. They create some super crazy technology.
I mean, look at Genos.
Yeah, you got cyborgs running around.
Yeah.
You got robots running around.
Anything is possible.
Right.
So with that being said, I would like to see his bike like makeshift into other vehicles.
Yeah. It should be a robotic bike. So like Child Emperor has these 3 little dogs that come out of these little tiny balls. And so maybe he could have his bike transform into one of those sort of robots and fight alongside him.
Or transform into armor.
It's like a transformer.
It would transform into
Oh,
armor
yeah,
around
that's
his
cool
body,
too.
like an exoskeleton.
Yeah. A metal suit.
Man, this guy has a bright future.
Yeah, we were the ones writing it.
Right. You think he gives citations? Like, justice ticket.